Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you. Bitcoin spot ETF. We got Gary Gensler on the matter. You're going to want to hear from him. Elizabeth Warren letter targeting crypto again, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting serious. Cindy Young for Ripple and the CBDC platform, and CBDCs for countries like the digital euro. Next steps taking place November 1st this year. Oh my, oh my. Then don't worry. Hey, we're not done. Perpetual future contracts on Coinbase for XRP. Oh boy, somebody wrote that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.13 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 0.1%. Bitcoin, 28,500 plus, 1,500 plus and change for Ethereum. Tether market cap, 84 billion plus right now, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5 spot is 48 cent XRP. We are off by 1.3 in the 24-hour and up by 1% on the 7-day. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It's Miles Franklin. One of the best times to get gold is before it starts going crazy. We all know there's a transition coming to the monetary system, and we all know that gold helps ensure that the money will stay stable. That's why central banks have been hoarding it. That's why I've started doing the same. If you want gold, silver, whatever it is, coins, rounds, bars, you name it, they have it, best prices, but you're going to want to email info@milesfranklin.com. I have it underneath the video in every video, but email them, and in the subject box, you're going to want to put dig gold. Don't forget to put dig gold. You want the best prices? Put dig gold. Info@milesfranklin, and they will take care of your needs. No doubt about it. Let's get started. Oh boy, Mike Novogratz, and oh boy, CNBC. The difference now is that the SEC lost in court. The court has said having a futures Bitcoin ETF and not a spot ETF makes intellectually 0 sense. No doubt about that. Take a listen to this quick clip here.
Applications in to try to get a Bitcoin ETF going. And the question is whether just because they're asking, is it going to be approved?
Yeah, it's going to get approved. We actually think, we're partnered with Invesco on an application. We think it happens this year in 2023. All the indications of dealing seem to be heading in the right direction. And that's, from
what's Mike, though, because I don't want people to, Mike, people are going to say he's talking his book. He owns a lot of Bitcoin. He wants this to happen, obviously. What would you pinpoint and specifically suggest that you're seeing around the approval process that is somehow different today than it was a year ago, than it was 2 or 3 years ago?
The most significant piece was the SEC lost in court, right? The judge had said, what are you talking about, SEC? You have a futures ETF and you're saying you can't have a cash ETF. That makes intellectually 0 sense. And I think that put the SEC on the back foot. And I think Gensler needs a win. There's a tremendous amount of pressure to do something that is rational. The American public wants this. BlackRock, who's the largest asset manager in the world, is out publicly saying we're going to get this done. And it's, I can't talk specific about conversations our guys are having, and that's on the Invesco side. But talking to all the other people, it just feels like the dialogue with the SEC is all heading in the right direction.
And there you have that, ladies and gentlemen. And if there's anybody that should know the inside baseball, I would bet it's probably Mike Novogratz. Linda P. Jones says the same thing essentially here, pointing that Novogratz, Larry Fink, and Gary Gensler all appearing on TV to say the approval of a Bitcoin ETF is imminent doesn't seem suspicious at all. Hashtag sarcasm. Shout out to Linda P. Jones here. And here's a great clip put together by 24 Hours Crypto here. I want you to watch the maturation from 2017 and Larry Fink and BlackRock to where we are today.
True that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability? No. I mean, we're looking at it. No. I have not heard from any one client they're looking to buy a cryptocurrency at this time.
I have right now. You are aware then you are.
What do you mean?
Just studying it.
We're studying it. We're looking how they perform. We're looking at that type of data to understand it as we think about other products. But right now, I can tell you it worldwide, I have not heard from one client who said, I need to be in this. But most importantly, what I think about most of these cryptocurrencies, it just identifies how much money laundering there is being done.
Is it time yet for BlackRock to either trade in digital assets or digital virtual currencies, if you prefer, or to create a product for your clients?
We're not hearing any demand from any of our clients other than maybe some speculative stuff. We're being asked that question, but it's more of like a venture capital type of.
This rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the, all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And
wow. What a change of tune. But don't forget, just as we talked with Raoul Pal, shout out to him for being on the show, he made the fantastic point to say that he's basically, what we're seeing here with that push for the Bitcoin spot ETF is that you're seeing TradeFi connected to, as he says, the digital nation state, I believe is how he referred to it. And basically you're connecting a line from this ETF to exposure to the actual crypto asset. So in other words, if Larry Fink and BlackRock are going to offer this to their clients, they're not out anything, right? As a matter of fact, even Raoul Pal suggested that they'd front run their clients on the matter. And essentially, the only people that are at risk are the people that actually get in the ETF itself, right? So it's no skin off their back. It's just a matter of giving something to them or the opportunity to provide it to them. But I think we all understand that if Fidelity, BlackRock, VanEck, Invesco, and ARK all get approved at the same time for a Bitcoin spot ETF, we're going to see a change in this crypto winter, I would imagine. Now, Gary Gensler himself is asked directly here, shout out to Flip the Chain, for this clip. Take a listen.
Else that happened last week, or rather didn't happen, was the SEC acting to appeal a court ruling from August in the Grayscale case. Grayscale, of course, trying to convert GBTC into a spot ETF. I know you can't comment on ongoing litigation, but should we still be considering that ongoing litigation given that lack of appeal at this point? And if not, what happens next?
Wait, didn't you just say that you knew I wasn't going to comment on the litigation? But let me just say...
But is it still ongoing since you didn't appeal?
We didn't appeal last Friday. I think that's accurate.
So you could still in the future in another form.
But what we have in front of us, just so that the viewing public understands, we have not one, but multiple, I think it's 8 or 10 filings that the staff and ultimately the commission is considering for what's called exchange-traded products, for Bitcoin to be in a security. So the Bitcoin would be held, and then there would be something called an exchange-traded product, and that would trade on various stock exchanges. And those filings are in front of us. I can't prejudge any one of them, but there's 8 or 10 that we're looking at.
Well, there is a large number, and there is kind of a narrative in this market, and I wonder if you could put it to rest, that someone's going to get to go first. Is that likely to happen, or is it likely to be a group approval? If you're going to have one, a bunch of products could be approved at the same time.
Again, I'm not going to prejudge. The staff's doing work on those multiple filings, but it's also about those companies are issuers. See, when a company is actually, or an asset manager is seeking to take something public, these exchange-traded products need to register with the SEC, and they go through a filing.
Yada, yada, yada. We know the drill, right? I'm not going to answer anything, but this is really him not saying no, right? That doesn't mean that he won't, but nevertheless, he's not saying no. There are implications that it may be a mass approval for these Bitcoin spot ETFs. Head on a swivel for that. And then there's this from another angle. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren sends a letter to White House claiming crypto is a national security threat being used to fund terrorism. And I'm reminding you that she is pushing the narrative that if Congress doesn't act, they are setting the stage for FSOC, the Financial Stability Oversight Council, to do it for them. And I tell you, do not overlook this angle that has been played since last summer by Senator Elizabeth Warren. And do not outlook the idea that we could be seeing these exchange-traded products set up for somebody to try to push a ban on crypto itself. And if they did that, how would they decide what's left to live? This is something that they would want to see, but nevertheless, ultimately, I do believe that Stephen Narioff made a great point about what the real prize is, and it's not to ultimately kill all of crypto, but the prize itself is crypto. Nevertheless, here in May, Ripple launched a dedicated CBDC platform for banks and governments and financial institutions around the world to the issuance of stablecoins and CBDCs. 19 countries of the G20 are already at an advanced stage of CBDC development, according to the Atlantic Council think tank. And that does not mean that it's on the actual private platform of the CBDCs, but we do know that there are multiple central banks and countries working with Ripple in that matter. Right here, you see Ripple in talks with over a dozen governments for CBDC development. That is Cindy Young right there. And then I wanted to show you this very quickly here, which is breaking news here. The European Union Central Bank's digital currency, CBDC, will enter its preparation phase on November 1st. Shout out to Michael Branch, give him a follow. And Anthony Welfare, Ripple advisor, says here, an interesting move forward and great to see the Eurozone taking a CBDC lead. This is just the next step on a long journey, but great to see the principles and progress being made. Highlight here is as Europe enters the digital era, a digital euro would be the next step in evolution of our currency. It would not have the form of a physical coin or banknote, but it would benefit from the most important characteristics of cash as a public good when paying digitally. Widely accepted and easy to use, free for basic use, usable for any digital payment in the euro area, not requiring online connection. It could also be used offline. How about that one? Offering the highest possible protection of privacy, inclusive, leaving no one behind, settling payments instantly, secure, risk-free, as money issued by the central bank, usable for payments at the point of sale, person to person. It's worth reading the summary report. I'll take the highlights from Anthony on this one, because we know that Ripple is partnered with the Digital Euro Association. So this gets extremely interesting, ladies and gentlemen, as we move one step closer. And from an older video I had here, I wanted to show and remind everybody, we've added some since then. But just looking at the foundations and what have you, Digital Pound Foundation, Ripple's on it. Digital Euro Association, Digital's on it as they move to the next steps. And at that time, Digital Dollar Project was in question, but no more. Ripple to participate in Digital Dollar Project CBDC Sandbox program. You know, this is looking pretty powerful to me, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, we shall see, right? We shall see. And then there was this news right here. Shout out to Mickle, give him a follow. Clarity, huge. It says here, XRP Perpetual Futures now on Coinbase. Well, this is pretty remarkable here because perpetual futures mean there's really no expiration on this, right? There is no expiring time. Most times, well, not most times, there are many product offerings when it comes to terms of futures themselves. You can have daily futures, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, so on, so on. You get it. But right now, Coinbase is offering an open-ended perpetual future, which is really suggestive here. As Linda P. Jones states, Coinbase approving perpetual futures contracts for trading XRP means, one, XRP is very bullish. If XRP's price was not going to fluctuate or change a lot, no one would be interested in trading it. Futures contracts allow for maximum leverage and can lead to outsized profits or losses. Number two, Wall Street firms, mostly hedge funds, are the firms who trade futures contracts. This is about institutional money coming into the trade. It is not about retail investors. Uh-oh, we like hearing that. This is bullish for XRP because it means the large wave of institutional money is close to coming in and they want to trade on the volatility. The fact that Coinbase is secretive about the countries approved to trade these contracts means it may be Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, etc., which are the jurisdiction for hedge funds and other offshore funds. Why the secret? Because the truth is too telling. Oh, shout out to Linda P. Jones on that one. And by the way, join us inside the Freedom Zone where you get Google free ad-free videos that I post every day, along with extra content that we cannot discuss on regular social media platforms or YouTube because we know we run the risk of censorship. And today we're going to take a trip to a very secretive island, and what could be the tie between that and Bitcoin? Oh, you're going to like it. For the cost of a cup of coffee, you can get inside of here, and it's less than YouTube Premium, by the way. You're going to get Google ad-free videos, no Google ads, and you will get extra content in here as well on topics that we couldn't dare to touch otherwise. And more importantly, we get to have a direct connection with one another without these censorship platforms in between us. And that couldn't be more important to me, I tell you that. That's going to do it for me. Not financial advice from me or anyone else, just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.